Okay, good morning to all of you. Here we are in order to make a video about the pronombres personales in Spanish, in English, subject pronouns, personal pronouns, but we are going to talk in this video about the subject pronouns. It's just a chat, it's not a class, okay? Okay, it's just a chat. It's the same that I tried to do in Portuguese a few minutes ago, because the aim of this channel is to teach Spanish to people who speak Portuguese based on the little differences between the two languages. So in English, we are not going to be teaching Spanish, but only reviewing the videos directed to the people who speak Portuguese, but we can learn something on the way. All right, so there is no script for this video. It's just a test, because I have to start right now. It's enough about procrastination, okay? So excuse me if it is a little formal and too informal, but anyway. Okay, let's go to the subject. Today we are going to talk about the subject pronouns in Spanish, pronombres personales, and we are going to be comparing them with the English pronouns, okay? So we have yo, tú, él, ella, nosotros, ustedes, ellos, ellas. Okay, let's see some differences, okay? As you can see, for the third person of the plural, we have two pronouns. Ellos for the masculine, ellas for the feminine, because we have gender in Spanish, okay? Whereas in English, there is only one subject pronoun, which is they, okay? In the third person of the singular, okay, in English there is he, she, and it for the neutral gender, okay? In Spanish we have él, ella, and we can also use ello instead of it, but indeed it's not that used, because in Spanish everything has a gender, okay? For instance, a dog. In English, you would call the dog it, okay? For instance, if it's a male dog, you would say it is very beautiful, and if it's a female dog, you would say it is very beautiful. But in Spanish, if it's a male dog, we would say él es muy hermoso, and if it is a female dog, we would say ella es muy hermosa, okay? So we have this here, and there is also an additional pronoun in Spanish for addressing people in a more formal way, okay, which is usted, okay? Usted is used to address people in a very formal way. For instance, it is a pronoun for the second personal of the singular, but I wrote it here because it is conjugated with using the conjugation of the third of the singular, okay? We're going to talk about it a little bit later. For instance, you can say tú eres alto, let's say. If you are addressing to somebody who is your friend, your family, or you are very confident in addressing him or her. But if it's a person that you don't know, it's a person that is older than you, you are going to use usted. Es alto. Okay? It is more formal. And you use the conjugation of the third person of the singular instead of the conjugation of the second person. Okay? That's why I wrote it like this. Okay. Something that I want to mention about this is the subject pronoun vosotros. Here I'm going to be talking about Spanish, which is spoken in Mexico and many places of Latin America. Vosotros is not used here. And I do this because in Brazil they also use more the vocês. Então eu estou tentando. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make things easier for people who speak Portuguese in order to talk about just the differences, okay, between Spanish and Portuguese. So I'm not going to be using this pronoun here, okay. Besides, it makes things easier for you because you don't have to learn how to conjugate this person, because if you use ustedes, you're going to conjugate the verb exactly as it is conjugated here in the third person of plural. We're going to see this. Okay, now this is not a video intended to talk about conjugation, but we are going to conjugate the verb speak just to see how these pronouns work. Okay, in Spanish it would be hablar. Okay, hablar. So let's see. If you want to conjugate this in English, would be something like this: I speak, you speak, he, she, it speaks, we speak, you speak, they speak. Okay, no problem. In English, we know that it's really easy. This is for the present tense. Okay, I repeat it. This is not a talk about conjugation. Okay, you just change the verb here, and that's it. In Spanish, we have different endings. Okay, I'm gonna take this out for the moment. Okay, for instance, if you want to conjugate hablar, sería yo hablo, tú hablas. In some videos later, we're going to talk about conjugation here. Okay, él, ella o usted habla. Okay, usted is referring to the second person of the singular in a formal way. Just remember that. Okay, nosotros hablamos, ustedes hablan, ellos, ellas hablan. Okay, if we would conjugate or we would use vosotros, we have to change the conjugation. It would be something like vosotros habláis. Okay, vosotros habláis. Vosotros, okay, vosotros habláis. You speak in plural. Okay, but we are not going to use this. As I said, as you can see, this one and this one are the same. It's enough to learn just one conjugation and you have the two of them. You don't need to learn vosotros habláis, etc. This is easier in a way. You can say, oh, but they are the same. How can I do to distinguish them? By the context, or you can use the pronoun. Ustedes hablan, ellos hablan, ellas hablan, if it is feminine. Okay. But this is the way we speak in Mexico and in many countries of Latin America. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on this accent. And I have another thing to say to you here, that if you are starting and it is too difficult for you to learn all the conjugations, you can take this out for now. Why? Because if you decide to use usted instead of tú, it's okay. If you want to to use for addressing a person usted instead of tú, it is okay, no problem. For instance, you can say usted me cae bien. Por ejemplo, usted es muy amable. All these conjugations are in the third person of the singular, but you are addressing a second person of singular, okay? Instead of saying, for instance, tú me caes bien, tú eres muy amable. So, you don't have to learn, for instance, eres. You just learn es, which is this one, and that's it. So at the end of the day, you just have to learn 1, 2, 3, and 4 ways of conjugate the verbs for addressing all the subject pronouns. Okay? That's a thing. But of course, you can learn all of them. What else? I remember there's something else I wanted to say to you. Okay. So I think that's it. Yo hablo, tú hablas, él, ella habla, usted habla, nosotros hablamos, ustedes hablan, ellos, ellas hablan. Okay. Here, I repeat, this word usted is used to address people in a formal way. So if you talk to everybody using usted, there is no problem. Of course, you are going to sound a little bit or more or too much formal in some cases. But there are people who talk the usted even to their parents. But if we talk about the contrary, I mean, if you use tú to address everybody, you can have problems because you may sound unpolite. Okay, if you are talking to people that you don't know, or you may sound unpolite if you are talking to people older than you. Okay, but if you use usted, no problem. So you can start by learning 4 forms of conjugation, and there is no problem. Okay. So I think I'm going to finish this here. If you like the video, please thumbs up, subscribe in order to make this channel grow. And I'm going to be making videos to explain exactly what this channel is for, and it is not. In the Portuguese video, I didn't have the chance to explain some things that I'm explaining here, but I hope in the future I will do it. Okay, thank you very much, and see you later.